Hello, everyone. Welcome to the LARP Tales Podcast. My name is Oliver. I am one half of your hosting duo. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Robyn. Hello, Robyn.
Hello, Oliver.
Today, we are going to be going over what there is to do at Empire LARP event to the Spring Equinox. So this will be released on the Tuesday or Wednesday before the event is about to start, so it's going to be mainly for people going to the event, but you can also have a listen in and see what there is to do. We're going to be covering like the player-led stuff, not the broad Empire profound decisions stuff that's put on by PD itself, but some of the player-led stuff, so you kind of have an idea of what's going on in all the nations. Before we get to that, though, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. If you are new here, if you're listening to us on an audio platform, give us a 5-star review. Go check out the Patreon if you want to support us in that way. You're under, of course, no obligation to do so. And without further ado, let's get into the episode. Okay, Empire LARP Event 2 is upon us. We're going to go and cover... Basically, we're going to go through all the nations, just cover some of the kind of bigger player-led things that are going on around Empire. I guess we could touch briefly on the stuff that we're not really going to cover because the information is out there. So, for example, there are a load of... institutions, I guess is the right word. There's a load of in-character institutions like the Military Council, like the Senate, the Synod, the Bourse. All that needs to be there to make the game run. You can go find out about that. There at every event. There are the out-of-character institutions like the Games Operations Desk. There's, I guess, like the Hub and things like that is a place where you can go and do things. We're not going to cover that. You can find all that information on the PD website. All the new player stuff is on the PD website. Go over there. We've covered it a million times. We're not going to cover that. But what we are going to go over is the stuff you won't find on the PD website or the wiki, which is just some of the player-led things that are going on at E2 this year. So we had a pretty good response when we did this one for E1. So we thought we would, do it once again for Empire LARP E2. Right, Robyn, should we how do you want to do this? Do you want me to just read off the spreadsheet and we'll go over them one by one, or what do you think?
Yeah. Like, So first of all, like, thanks to everyone actually who responded to the post I did in the Facebook page. I've kind of gathered every bit of information that I could and just put it into this lovely color-coded spreadsheet so that we can go through it. So yeah, let's do that. Read through it, and we'll just do it nation by nation, I think.
Yeah, I mean, so these are just the things that people pointed out to us because we're in Dawn, we're not in all the other nations, so we're kind of relying on people to just give us a heads up on what was going on, basically. So first up, we got way more basically for Dawn than we have for any of the others. So first up on our list is the Brass Coast. This is in alphabetical order this time. It's different order from last time. The Brass Coast have the Zemris Festival, where people parade around Anvil, and then there's boat races, which I can't actually visualize that. I've never actually seen this festival before. There's a bazaar, there's songs, and general festivities in the Waypoint Plaza. So I think Zemris was an exemplar of prosperity, because I did look this up. So if you don't know, if you're new to Anvil, go and ask anybody in the field. So this is a little thing for you. Go and ask anybody on the field what an exemplar is, or whether they can name an exemplar, and you will you'll get interesting role play from pretty much anybody on the field. Even if you bump into a new player who doesn't know what it is, ask for a priest. Basically, they'll tell you what an exemplar is.
Yeah, I know exactly. I mean, so people have said to me about this festival, they have recommended that the boat race is a lot of fun, apparently, and it's something that is not to be missed. It is happening on Saturday, and it's going to start in the sort of afternoon time and go into the evening.
Awesome. we're going to Dawn, which is next on the alphabetical thing. There's a lot to go through here because we know a little bit more about that, so we are biased, but only because we just have more information on Dawn. Shall I just rattle through a load of things with?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'll rattle through. Okay, so the big one is it's our Festival of Flowers. So this is what I don't know why I'm looking at the notes for this one. So our Festival of Flowers in Dawn. It's where it's over the Spring Summit. It's basically right from time until time out. It is a time in Dawn where you're encouraged to give gifts of flowers to people. In Dawn, each house has a flower code. There are some universal flower codes, sort of, but most of the flower codes are to do with a Dawnish house. So a red rose might symbolize, and often does symbolizes true love. Yellow might symbolize friendship. Blue might symbolize loyalty and whatnot. You get the idea. Some of them might be death threats. But so for non-Dawnish people, it is supposed to be. It is intentionally confusing. So don't worry. Like I've had people in the past for past flower festivals. I've had friends of mine in other nations send me messages being like, "Oh, I don't want to cause offense." And I've said, no, that is the actual point of it.
Yeah.
So the idea is that, like, I give my friend a yellow flower that might mean something in someone else's flower code, or I might give them a yellow flower and that means something in my flower code, but I will not tell them what it means. They have to find out depending on the certain house. So, for example, our house is pretty straightforward and open with what our flowers mean. We'll just tell you. Other people will not tell you at all, and you have to kind of guess. Some people will just say the nobles won't tell you, but the yo folk will. Yeah. Is there anything you want to add to that, Robyn?
Yes. When it comes to giving and receiving the flowers, there is a little bit of confusion. Like you have said that each house has their own flower code. There is definitely a little bit of confusion as to do you give a flower code to someone following their house's flower code or your house's flower code? When it comes down to that, and especially for new players, it's up to you. Okay. You can look into someone else's flower code. You can pick a flower based on that, or you can just go for it. And this is open to absolutely everyone. I know you've already said that, but if you're not in Dawn, you can still come and take part in this and enjoy the festival. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it this year. I've got a ridiculous amount of flowers, and I've for the first time ever written like my own flower for a flower code, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, we've got some interesting ones. We'll move on. There is a position in Dawn. It's not been overly prominent really, but we've had like there's a position called the Knight of Flowers, and their job is to go round. I think that they are elected by our egregores, and they are like basically guised as the symbol of the festival, if you like. Moving on, because there's a lot to get through. We've got the Richhiel Festival of Arts. So this is an arts contest. Categories include food, music, poetry, and arts and crafts. So it is. I think every year it's held in Wise Guys. I think I'm not entirely. Have you put that in there now?
Wise Guys / Glory Square. It seems
Glory
to
Square.
be that kind of area.
Yeah. So if you're an artist of any kind, I think there's I'm assuming there's prizes, right? It's a competition, so I'm assuming there's prizes, and whatnot. And it can really be anything. Like a friend of ours did a martial arts routine last year, and I think he won, didn't he? He won something.
He won something, for that, because they named it as sword dancing. So this weekend it's going to be on the Saturday, and it's going to be at 3:30 on the Saturday. Should be around about Wise Guys, that sort of area, if you want to go and take part, or watch, or just
Yeah. We have a prosperity competition that's being run. Is this just every spring, or is this every event?
So I don't know if they're planning on doing it every spring or not. It's certainly not every event, but I believe this is the plan. It's going to be every spring. So the competition is just for those in Dawn, and basically you get a crown at the start of the weekend. You've got the whole weekend to turn that crown into as much money as you can. You come back, You put it in the prosperity pouch. The person who gets the most will receive the physical leather pouch for 1 whole year and all the money inside it.
Fantastic. Yeah. So like if you're if you're a new Dornish player, and you're at a loss for things to do, that is a good way to get into. It's not even just for the trading game; it's just to give yourself something to do as well, because trading is role playing. You know, I'm not a big fan of just playing the money game, but if you're there for the first time, it gives you an excuse to interact with people and role play with people. Awesome. There's a longsword class in the Glory Square. So I think we have competent Hema people and fencers, sword people giving lessons. One of such looks like it is in the Glory Square Saturday afternoon. I will interject and say this a couple of times. A lot of this is from the adverts and promotion on the Empire LARP adverts and promotion page. So if you like the sound of anything that we're saying here, go literally search those terms or just put a shout out, hey, I'm looking at this. Or even better, show up to the event and say, oh, I hear there's longsword classes going on in Dawn. Who do I speak to about that? That will give you some role play. There's Songbirds in Spring, which is a concert in the Lavender Court in Dawn. That looks like it's happening on Friday at 8 p.m. I'm assuming that is just a sit down and listen to music.
It's a case of there is a cost to come and sit and to watch it. It's been really well organized, some incredible performers. They've been working really hard on this, and there is some beautiful adverts up in the page that you mentioned in the adverts page for that. Again, if you are interested in that, come along to Lavender Court, ask someone there, and they'll be able to give you all the information and introduce you to a few people.
Okay, the Love Symposium is happening in the Glory Square to introduce other nations to Dawn's opinions on love as hearth magic, and get other nations talking about how they view love. My last character will be probably way more invested in this than I am, so it's a shame. But this is the type of thing that my last character kind of experienced in like his test of metal. I had to go around to all the nations and ask what their views on love was, and it's very, very interesting how different this is. So this is definitely one, obviously, for the non-Dornish of you that want to come in, learn some Dornish culture. Do you have any more information on that?
It's basically an excuse to come and do some role play in the Glory Square around that topic of love, around that. And this is for everyone. And like you said, it's for non-Dornish, it's for Dornish, and it's an excuse to come, role play, discuss it, find out a bit more about it. And I mean, it's Dornish, it's the Glory Square. We're talking about love. I mean, it's your excuse to do something with that if you want.
I like the time you've put here is 12:15, which is a very precise time for stuff covering the Glory Square. You'll find as well, if it's your first time at Anvil, timings are quite loosey-goosey, because you have, I think there's hard times for things like when orders need to be put from the military council because of obvious reasons, that there's mechanics that need to go on behind the scenes, you know. So when orders come through for where we're going on conjunctions and what on the big battle, should I say, then
it's well when we see. Yeah, sorry. I was going to say, like, when we see Glory Square as well, some of these things happen in the Glory Annex. It's one big square, part of it sectioned off, slightly smaller parts. So if you're looking for something and it's not happening on one side, it's probably in the other side.
Oh yeah. We should probably say as well, I would definitely refer people to go watch our E1, what there is to do, even if E1 has passed and you didn't go to E1, you're not going to E1, obviously, but this is your first one. I would suggest going and seeing that, because we explain things like what the Glory Square is. The Glory Square is a big square in the middle of the Dawn camp. You really can't miss it if you come into Dawn.
Can't miss it.
Yeah, it's on the top of the hill, the furthest away from God, basically. What else have we got going on? We got a cold sun meetings. So if you're new to Empire LARP, this affects, I'm talking about Dawn here, but this affects everybody in the Empire. Currently, the Empire is under a sort of an alien invasion, because they even look like aliens. So there is a new Eternal. Eternals are a bit like kind of demons / demigods. And they reside in the realms of magic. Some of them we get on with, some of them we sort of get on with, some of them we really, really don't get on with at all. They all have different personalities. Last year, a new one sprouted up from the day realm. So the day realm is all about kind of knowledge and seeing clearly. Basically, is trying to put it in as tight a nutshell as I can. So if you want to scry something, you use day magic, things like that. The Eternals of Day usually follow that line. This new Day Eternal showed up and basically wants to exterminate all of just life. We kind of thought it doesn't like anything creative, but we seem to have figured out as an empire, it is literally just life that it doesn't like. So anything that expresses life, anything that begins, anything that lives from start, has a beginning, middle, and end, it seems to hate. There was something that happened. You can ask in the field what happened to cause this invasion, but they are coming through into our realm within the empire. So we are being currently attacked within our own empire. There's armies sprouting up here, there, and everywhere. Currently, we're doing very well against them. There's only 2 armies left at the time of this recording. There's only 2 Cold Sun armies left, but we are still going out through the Sentinel Gate on skirmishes to fight these Cold Sun, which we didn't really know much about, and they are very, very, very deadly. So we're still trying to get to grips with how to defeat this enemy. And some people have been doing a sort of very good job of gathering all the intel throughout all the nations. So there are some meetings on the Cold Sun. So you've written down here, drop in session, House du Morisol, near the Glory Square, a chance to share info, skirmish reports. So there's one of those on Friday at 4 and Saturday at 8 p.m.
Yeah. The player that's organizing this, they have done an incredible job. They have basically been gathering all the information from every skirmish, from every person. They've been sharing this, and this is just a way for you people to be able to go in, have a chat and things. So yeah, if you have got a Cold Sun skirmish, might be worth dropping in there and getting a little bit of help along with a load of people there who are obviously wanting to learn more about it and to do more to stop it as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Last thing in Dawn that you might want to come see. There's going to be lots going on in the Glory Square. It's usually where people do things. This event, we have the Night Protector of Spring tournament. So if you want to see a fighty tournament, that's usually like 2/2, right? On the Saturday. It was Larp Protector of Winter one. Last event was a little bit confusing with the times, but so
I think the Night Protector tournament is confusing every single event. I think if you get there at 2, you won't miss it.
Yeah. Get there at 2. You won't see it. It's a big scrap in the winner becomes the Night Protector of Spring. So for new people, the realms I was talking about Day Eternal just now. Another one of the realms is Spring. We select someone who is in charge of protecting the Imperial realm against the realm of Spring. It's quite a cool one. Moving on from Dawn, is there anything else we want to say about Dawn?
No, I think we're good there. Obviously, it's other things happening, but this is like I think that's enough things.
There's enough
on
things
Dawn.
Yeah, seems we have one thing for pretty much a lot of the rest of them.
Yeah.
Guard. Yeah, we only have one thing for High Guard currently. So in High Guard, this event, they have the Carcinaean Games. Highborn from across the nation are invited to come to Anvil to test their virtue and compete in the first annual Carcinaean Games. So this is the first one.
Yeah.
It sounds like this is Saturday at 4:30 p.m. over in the High Guard camp, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's over in the High Guard camp. It's split into a few different areas because the games themselves, I've got a few different games involved. I know that there's an archery one. I believe there is a vigilance one. There's a martial one. So if you head there, speak to them there in High Guard, they'll be able to point you into the direction so that High Guard players can go and test their virtue.
Yeah. I don't get enough game over in High Guard. I really need to get over there more.
No.
The Imperial Orcs. So I will break again to say that I would recommend you go watch our E1 What to Do. Because as we go through the nations, I do give tips. I'm just not going to repeat myself 4 times this year. we go over some of the things that you can ask in general about all the different nations. If you are a brand new role player and you want to come into the nation, I will say for the Imperial Orcs, it's worth saying again, they have like one of the best camps in the game for their set dressing and the look and the feel. If you go to the Orc camp, you will hear rumors that you need to take a weapon, don't go alone. just don't take a weapon and don't go alone just because it's funny and it would be fun role play. So but ask them about that type of thing as well. So the Imperial Orcs have their Night of Worth. So this is where orcs share stories that surround items of worth. Humans are welcome but must be respectful. There was a go on. I feel like you're going to tell this funny story.
So last year, when this was happening, there was a bit of a thing going around that Dawnish specifically were not welcome. Now, a few of us in Dawn had actually been given like personal invites to come. And one of our friends was given such an invite and was like, yeah, I've been invited. I'm going to go along. And he went there with the brand new player. First time, like literally first time here doing all this. And they were there with your tabard on. I think they were wearing the bright blue tabard with the big golden sun on the front of it. And they're standing there. And instantly, the Imperial LARP players spot them, bring them up into the center, and start to interrogate them as to why they are there. And it ended up becoming a really fun, exciting role play moment because they were invited guests, and certain Imperial Orcs stood up, to be like, no, they are invited. But it just became this really juicy role play, especially when the specific new player had come to me first. Was like, oh, I'm going to go to the Imperial Orc camp. I've been told they're quite scary. I was like, oh no, they're fine, they're lovely. Okay, a lot of it is rumors. Okay, you'll be fine. And then I find out that's what happened to them. I was like, whoops.
I don't even know what they were upset about us with. It's always something.
That's always something.
We did something. I don't know. I think we're cool with the Imperial Orcs currently. I think we're all good.
If you want to find out, head over there Saturday at 9 p.m.
Yeah. I mean, Dawn may be being accused of war crimes currently, so I don't know how the Imperial Orcs feel about that. But yeah, go check out the Night of Worth, Imperial Orc show and tell, basically. The League. Head over to the League.
Swiftly on.
The League. They have dream card readings. So I always butcher names from other. So forgive me. I butcher names from other nations. So the Carta della Calza do Liao Dream readings. This sounds really interesting. With a unique, your own unique deck. This is great for new and experienced players looking to find the way.
Yep, so that's going to be all weekend after dusk. So head over to the League and find out some more. Some of these places as well that we're mentioning, if you're not too sure where about they are, honestly, just ask people. So many events for me, I literally end up walking around asking for where specific groups are. And in the early days, the amount of times that I could not find full nations, but people will help you. So just ask where to go.
Yeah, the League are always putting on plays in the theatre and things like that. So if you go up and ask, if there are any plays going on at all, that there's always something happening as well. I should probably say as well, because we're going to move on to. Oh, actually, no, we're not. I misread it. I thought we would move on to Navarre, but it's in my head now. There are notice boards knocking about. There's a big one outside of Navarre. They will have a lot of stuff of things that are going on. So I think there's one in Dawn. I think there's probably something similar in every nation, but the one, if you head up the road in between the basically the Navarre out of woods bit and the wooded bit, at the entrance in there into the Navarre woods is a massive notice board with lots of stuff on there.
Yeah, it's really well put together. Like you cannot miss it, and you can also add your own things onto it as well.
Yeah. The marches. We have the Stewards Games. This is a sports day. I love how we have show and tell. Now we have sports day. We're such silly people. So this is a sports day for each of the marcher regions. Don't ask me to name them. I probably should know them. Participating in various games to determine the winner of the Stewards Cup. Actually, can I name them all? Bregisland, yes. Upwold, Mitwold. Oh damn!
You started now.
I think is there 4?
I feel like there should be
I
4.
think there's 4. Let us know in the comments. The new players, go ask what territories.
Yes, we
People
definitely know
have.
this information. We just want you to
Yeah,
go and ask and gain some roleplay.
whatever. It's all the way on the other side of the map. Who cares? So the marches also. That's the only thing we've got currently for the marches, but the marches always have loads of stuff going on.
So that's going to be Saturday at 3 p.m. for that. So yeah.
Yeah, head up to the Stewards Games. For Navarre, the usual. Again, go check out our previous episode we did on what to do E1. We cover the Navarre look and feel and what you could ask Navari. But we got Songs and Stories, which is at every event. I'll go over Songs and Stories. It's an Empire staple. It's one of these things you got to do. It's on the bucket list for coming to Empire. So in the Navarre camp, there is a big circle. Even when it's not going on, if you're wandering through Navarre, you'll see a big circle of around a campfire, lots of seats around it. At night, it is completely lit. Everyone stands around at night, and people go into the center of the circle and tell stories and sing songs and perform pretty much. It's there's lots of performances that you can see and watch throughout Anvil. There's bars where you've got bards playing and things like that. A lot of the time it's going to be like a pub like atmosphere where you can role play and this that, and it's just kind of background. But when Songs and Stories, it's almost like a religious kind of thing for the Navari. So it's very much, they take it very, very seriously. So you have to be quiet and respect the person performing. But it's really cool. Like if you wait at night, if you wait until late enough at night, the Navarre sing. I think they sing the same song every time at the end.
They do like a whole thing at the end of the night and everything. Also, it's a really good way, I think, for people, not necessarily just newer players, but newer performers. It's a unique situation where you can go out and you can try something and actually get a huge amount of support from a lot of people who will listen, who will show respect, who will support you in what you're doing. So if you are literally thinking, even if you've been to quite a lot of events and you're like, if I really want to try reading this poem or I want to try telling the story or anything, that's the place to go try it, because they are just so wonderful to people there.
Yeah, and it's difficult to miss as well if you really want to see it, because it's each evening, so and it goes on for a fair few hours as well. So and you can't miss it. I mean, I've got to admit, I will hand it to Navarre. I think that's why one of the reasons why they've got such a big player base is that for new players that don't know many people, they do have that Songs and Stories gives them a real national sense of togetherness. So also going on this event in Navarre is the Welcoming Festival. Including the Vate Hunt, which is a ceremonial hunt where people take on the role of either a quarry or a hunter. There will be challenges, races, tests and tests of battle prowess. That sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, no, that's right. So I've kind of put these as two separate things because they're happening at two different times, but you've also got the welcoming parade, which is all part of this as well. So the festival is Saturday at 2 p.m, but the parade is kind of happening all day, and it's basically where I remember them doing this before. They end up going from nation to nation as a big parade, and there's a lot of "It's spring" being shouted.
It doesn't get irritating at all.
No,
it's as fun and jovial the 50th time you hear it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, but
no, it's really lovely. It's a nice big celebration. They come around, you can join in, and it's again, we've got a lot of these sort of things this event where people are going around and just
but basically for newer people, the Navarre, they are a nation that has to kind of walk these magical roads to keep an enemy at bay. It's a magical enemy that comes from spring magic. It's like plant zombie hive mind craziness. Go ask the Navarre about it. It's called the Valorn. Ask the Navarre about it. Pretty much any Navarre will just talk your ear off if you ask what the Valorn are. It's their like big thing, but they literally have to like walk these magical roads called trods to keep like to keep this enemy at bay. So they're constantly like at danger of constantly traveling. When they get to Anvil, especially at springtime, where the winter's over, they get all excited so that's why they're like jumping around, being like, "It's spring, yay!" So we have the Great Unburdening, which is this is an out of character, right? Thing.
Well, like it's done during like in character time.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's a massive kit free cycle where you can basically come and get yourself some free kit. You can head over at 10 a.m. on the Sunday and start dropping things off that you want to maybe like trade, swap, give away, whatever. And then at 12 o'clock on the Sunday, that's when it sort of properly starts. So it is still before time out, but it's quite close.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a big, it sounds like a great idea for everyone actually.
Yeah, you've written here, massive kit recycle, Browning's Rest in the Navarre Woods, especially useful for newbies. Come and grab some free kit. So
yeah.
there you go for that. Urizen. We have the Astronomy Symposium, currently experiments and we'll start that again. Current experiments and discoveries, how to safely work with the stars. This is held in the Senate building. That sounds extremely nerdy. That sounds extremely nerdy. So if you want to learn about astronomy from the Urizeni, or if your character is into that type of thing, go ahead and you can talk some astrophysics or whatever it is they're talking about.
Yeah, it's going to be Sunday at 10 a.m.
And Urizen also have a flower festival, but it's different from Dawn's. It's actually so that they give out different flowers, and each color of flower is representative of virtue. It's more tied to the way than it's basically. It's the opposite of the Dawnish one. It's basically it's a straightforward flower thing. They give flowers, and this is exactly what it means. The Dawnish one is intentionally confusing, and it's supposed to just create drama. Basically, the Dawnish one. But there's a flower festival also going on in Urizen. Again, I will prompt people to go check out our what to do E1 video to get the lowdown on what to ask Urizeni and Urizeni roleplay and things like that. Then we have Varushka. Varushka have the Festival of Zoria. This is a really good one. So this
terrifying.
This is a parade around Amble. So they get go and ask. I don't think I said this in the E1 one actually. Go ask the Varushkans about the wolves. In fact, I'm not going to explain too much more than that. But you will
give everyone nightmares.
Yeah, you will see Varushka heading up the road, heading towards the game's operations desk and kind of the out of character bit. And they end up there's some kind of scary stuff going on that you will see people kind of screaming and looking like they're sort of possessed or something when they do this. They sometimes have like a big what's the word, like float or puppet or something like that that they take as well. It's really cool. It's really dark fantasy style, kind of like shooing away bad omens. Basically, that's basically what it is. But go ask them about the wolves. And they're not actual wolves, but there are actual wolves. But go ask them about the wolves.
Ask them about it. It is Saturday, 7 to 7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So nice and late at night.
You probably hear that. I
think somewhere safe to go after.
Yeah, I think I heard them all actually last time before I actually saw them.
It was weird last time when I saw, because I had no idea what was happening, and I was like, are we worried about this?
Yeah, no,
because I left my sword. So someone have a spare sword.
Awesome. Wintermark is the last nation, but we don't have anything for Wintermark.
Yeah, I
on
couldn't
the.
find anything, and I'm going off memory because I did see a poster about something happening in Wintermark. Okay, so
Mhm.
I'm doing this by memory. I believe that on the Saturday night, where they normally have the mute, the big sort of like mute square, they are doing a kind of their own sort of like songs and stories type of thing of bring a chair, bring some food, sit down, share tales and things like that. I don't have all the information. That was just through like reading a few things online. So head over to Wintermark, ask about it. Someone will be able to explain a bit more and put you in the right direction for all of that as well.
Yeah, yeah. So that's all the nations. What about nation? Do we have any empire wide stuff that's going on or not?
I feel like the answer to that is yes,
Mm-hmm. But you don't know any.
but no.
But no. So like role play prompts for new players. Once again, I'll refer you back to our previous video. We do go when we go through all the nations. We talk about things to ask other nations coming from your own nation. The things that are the big things that will be happening that new players sometimes get confused at is the big battles. So I'll go over them since we've got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Currently, on the Saturday and Sunday, there are two big battles. They both so time in on Saturday and Sunday is 10 o'clock, but both battles take place at like 11 a.m. So you have an hour of role play to get out, but they start at 11, as in we all need to be through that gate at
Mm-hmm.
11, and the battle is commencing. So you only have an hour to for everybody to get sorted. So yeah, you need to be quite sharp. Go find if you're really stuck, go find your egregores. But you probably just ask someone in your nation if you're confused about what you're supposed to be doing in the battle. All nations usually do have some kind of battle structure. So
Yeah.
people will group up into units, and there'll be captains of those units. Um, Ask if anyone's looking for fighters or anything. You can just go in with your nation if you've never been before. If you go up with your nation through the gate, there's no there's no register to be called out. There's no you can go in any order you want, but people you obviously for strategic reasons people go in units and things like that. So if you're confused
Yeah.
on the day, you'll want to go into battle and you haven't spoken to anyone about what you're supposed to do on the battle. Definitely ask the players in your nation, what your specific nation's kind of objectives are and things like that. You don't need to know everything that's going on because you will just be swept up in a sea of warriors anyway. So just
Yeah. Yeah.
follow the crowd.
Also, if you're like, oh, I really want to go out onto the battle, but I don't want to fight, there's quite a lot of roles that you can do as well. You've obviously got like your healers and things like that, but we need runners. And runners are people who are on the battlefield and they quite literally run messages from people in charge to the people that need to hear them and run those messages back and forward basically.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to be a really super fast person, so don't let the title put you off, but it does
Well,
help.
yeah, yeah, like runners. Yeah, runners is probably an unfortunate thing, unfortunate phrase because and it's not it's very rare that a runner will get killed. Like I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever seen I've usually it's frontline fighters that get killed.
Yeah.
Runners, even though you are quite vulnerable, depending on where you're running to as well. Like if you are running through enemy lines to get to the back of enemy lines, that's dangerous. But usually it is literally just to go and tell someone on the other side of the field to hold or fall back or move forward, or by the way, an objective has been found. But that's a really good way for new players to
Yeah.
meet people and get a good view of the battlefield as well. There is
Yeah, I did it my first ever event. I was a runner when we were monstering. You could be
mm,
runners when you're monstering as well. I was a runner when we were monstering, and it is the best way to, like Oliver said, to get to know the battlefield, to meet people, and to learn like a lot in a very small space of time because you see a lot as a runner.
yeah, you do. Yeah, because there's a two. We're promoting this because we spend a lot of time in military council. So this is something that comes up every event. Every event, we're desperate. We're always desperate for runners. Basically, what we kind of need is there is a group called the Imperial Auxiliaries. So that is a
Mhm.
group specially dedicated for this job. But so they're always looking for people. If you want to just join that group as the auxiliaries, they have like symbols on them and things like that.
Yeah, you get a
can
cool
wear.
little symbol to wear.
Yeah, a cool little symbol. But then also we need people in each nation. I think we need like 2 or 3 people ideally from each nation, which and these nations usually have like 300 or 400, especially when you're dealing with the bigger ones, you know. So we're always struggling for runners if you want to do that. But like Robyn says, there are non-combat roles as you're gonna have healers. If you're confused at what abilities you're gonna have monstering, don't worry, because when you get up to where monstering is, it'll all be on a board for you. It'll all be told. The members of PD will tell you exactly where to go.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally come on the field as a water bearer if you really want to. Like,
or a battlefield tourist.
yeah, that is a thing. Like, don't feel like, oh, I don't like the fighting, I can't come onto the field, but I want to be part of the battle. You can still come as long as you go on both of the battles. As long as you go on both days, you can still come.
Although I will say, if you are on that battlefield and you stumble into the wrong bit, you might get stabbed.
You might die.
So
it's lovely. Come.
You are at risk, but it is doable. 100% doable. Right, we are like veering into like PD stuff and general knowledge stuff. Once again, head over to if you want to know what's going on in the game from a profound decisions point of view. Head over to their website. Go watch. In fact, actually, go watch our video on Beginner's Guide to Empire. That's all. That information is still completely relevant. If you want to go watch that one, that will give you a rundown of what basically from start to finish, what you have to do to start a character.
Yeah.
What there is, where all the things are, what there is to do, what you can be. We go over magic, we go over money, religion, and combat as well, and also kit and things like that, lineages, all that type of stuff. Go check out that video. Is there anything else we need to go over?
Oh, I think it's pretty much everything. A slight tiny thing.
Teeny tiny thing.
I'm gonna mention the weather, okay? Because everyone goes on and on and on about making sure you got lost socks, making sure you're warm enough. We're coming into that sort of weird time where I'm gonna say, make sure you got plenty of sun cream, make sure you've got rehydration stuff, and make sure you are fully prepared for the pollen.
Yeah,
I know that sounds really obvious, but just a little reminder: if you're listening just now and you're on your way and you're passing a shop and you're like, antihistamines, stop and get them now.
Yeah,
there you go.
We are not registered medical professionals.
We're not registered medical professionals.
Consult your doctor before taking medication. And all that. And all that.
Side effects may include.
All that. It's all right, Robyn. I'm covering our backs. It's fine. But yeah, no. Be aware of the weather. Currently, it is like, if you are in the UK, you'll know it is like weird. Currently, it is freezing cold for some reason when the sun's not out in the middle of June. But when the sun is out, it is sweltering hot. So who knows? Basically, one thing I will say as well, because I saw this last time. People who had never been before are like, "Oh, the weather seems bad. What's going to happen?" Yeah, they won't cancel this event for bad weather. Like it has to be world ending for them to cancel this event, basically.
Even then,
even then, we give it a go.
Yeah. PD will find a way. Okay.
Yeah. And when I say world ending, I mean world-ending heat or wind or rain or snow. They will run it. Anyway, right. I guess that's us. By the time this is out, I think Silgor's music video will be out. So go watch our interview with Silgor. If you don't know who Silgor is, go watch that video. But he is an out of character musician that has done a music video for a song that he has written based on the Empire setting. A lot of our friends are in the music video. Go check it out. Go check out our video. I'm going to release a video just with us and Silgor talking about that video as well. So apart from that, cool. I'll do our final housekeeping. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe. Can you comment down below if you got through this video to let us know? It does help with engagement. Tell us what you're looking forward to at E2. Tell us if it's your first time coming to Empire LARP, and so we can maybe look out for you when you're there. Come say hi. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, if you are there and you see us, please come say hello.
Yeah.
If we're in character, try and do it in character. don't spoil our immersion. But if you see us out of character, yeah, please come and say hi, or give us a little wave or something. We are nice people, I promise. Although we might be hungover and maybe a little bit fuzzy headed. I can't make any promises.
Still pretty friendly.
Yeah, exactly. If you have been listening to us on an audio platform, if you could leave us a 5-star review, that would be awesome. It helps people basically find the content, and obviously we'd like to see the little 5 stars next to our podcast. We work hard on it. Go check out the Patreon if you want to kind of support us in that way. It currently sits at about $3 per month. We don't really put any content on there currently. It is literally just a tip jar, that doesn't take a massive cut, if you enjoy what we do here. Until the next time, though, yeah, we love you very much, and we'll see you at Empire E2. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.